What's crack-a-lackin'? I'm Ruin, and this is going to be a video just talking about the patch notes coming for the preseason of Season 1. Yep, Black Ops 6 is getting its first pretty major update, I want to say. I might be completely wrong, but I think this one is 1.06. Not 100% sure. But regardless, this goes over quite a few different things like stability, progression, multiplayer maps, mode spawns, loadouts, specifically weapons. That's going to be kind of a quick thing I'm going to talk about, because there are, I mean, look at this, a lot of them. And that being said, there is some cool stuff about the Recon combat specialty that I do want to go over, as well as some known issues that they kind of say they are currently working on. So this is kind of a crazy update when it comes to the weapon tuning, because I have mixed emotions with it. I like it, partially don't like it, but I mean, it's not going to ruin the game for me, if that makes any sense. I think the weapon tuning is really good as is. I think they've made some pretty good changes, but regardless, I want to say real quick that I just hit 500 subs. I'm over 500 actually. I'm at 508 as of the recording of this video, and I'm pretty stoked because last night I went to bed and I had 500. I just got 500, so I was pretty stoked. I kind of had a little mini celebration with the wife. Needless to say, I was a little emotional about it. It's been a whole year of grinding this out, and I'm glad you guys are here to follow. And if you're part of that percentage that hasn't subscribed yet, please feel free to like this video if you enjoy it, and subscribe while you're at it. Also, make a comment. Let me know you're here. Let me know you subscribed. I really appreciate seeing that and hearing your feedback on my videos regardless. But to begin with, the stability has improved when it comes to interacting with the message of the day and sending voice communications. The progression completion display will now properly appear when completing prestige challenges in both multiplayer and zombies. Operators addressed an issue where Bailey wasn't holding an intended pistol in the operator selection menu. That's an odd one, but all right. And then the maps. Nuketown is now available in private matches. Oh, right. You couldn't actually go into a private match and select this map, which was so odd despite it being released this past weekend. So, I mean, if you're trying to look for any Easter eggs in regards to that was going to be a little difficult, but now it should be a lot easier for whoever wants to try to look for them. I haven't seen anybody post anything in regards to any Easter egg being found. I think there was a hint of some audio cues or something happening, but I'm not too sure yet. But regardless, let's see. The modes addressed an issue where players were spawned in when joining a session in progress instead of spectating before selecting a loadout. Yes, we saw ourselves in a kill cam before selecting a loadout too. Improved stability in infected game mode. Stability. I'm really liking seeing that being mentioned in the patch notes, because I think part of the whole thing that I'm having issues with is some stability when it comes to being on their servers on certain cases. I know I get a lot of packet loss, I get some latency, sometimes worse than others, even though I'm hardwired in and have some pretty decent internet. So Call of Duty games are the only game I have lag in ever. So yeah, kind of frustrating to say the least. But despite that, game is very fun, and anything to allow stability to be a much better situation would be great. And spawns, general spawn logic tuning across several maps for improved spawning. Spawn tuning will be an ongoing process of taking in data, reviewing gameplay, and making measured adjustments in the live environment. Our #1 goal is to always provide the safest spawn that we can across all maps and game modes. Thank God, because some of the maps have horrible spawns. Regardless, I don't struggle too bad, as depending on the weapon I'm using for depending on what map it is. So, been working on shotguns, and let me tell you, I'm going to be disappointed at the bottom of this patch notes, so let's get down to it. Loadouts. Addressed an issue where players would automatically equip their previously used loadouts when joining matches already in progress. Addressed an issue where players would die at initial spawn when selecting their loadout. That is a weird issue. I don't think I've gotten any of those. I don't even think any of my buddies have gotten any of those. Weapons. It's been awesome seeing players discover and share their favorite weapon builds during the first week of launch. Every day we monitor both player feedback and game data to keep tabs on how the weapon meta is evolving and prepare for a comprehensive tuning pass in Season 1. We have seen the discussions about the relative balance of assault rifles and submachine guns, and we are making some early general changes to adjust their effective ranges. For ARs, we are pulling in minimum damage ranges and lessening impact of headshots at close range. SMGs are receiving damage range increases to improve their mid-range effectiveness. I don't fully understand this part, and specifically the lessening the impact of headshots at close range. I'm going to be completely honest, I don't like the sound of that. I just think it feels worse hearing this after trying to go for headshots nonstop when it comes to playing on hardcore. So, man, getting hit markers in hardcore is a wild thing whenever you see it on headshots. Let's go down the list a little bit. We're mainly going to see some damage changes by 1 on the XM4, as well as the range changing going higher to 16.5, 16.6, and 40.6 meters in the medium range, and then greater than 40.6 meters in minimum range. The AK with 1 less damage as well, increased range to 38.1 meters. No change in the medium range. The minimum damage is actually upped on this one, on the AK-74, to 22, and then the range is greater than 38.1 meters. The aims, we're actually seeing a damage reduction of 2 with a range increase of 50.8 meters. The damage stays the same below that. The range stays the same below that as well, and then the minimum damage range is greater than 50.8 meters. The GPR, which was such an annoying gun to get the gold camo on. It already wasn't good, and they nerfed it again. Oh my lord. They nerfed it down from 23 to 21, decreasing the damage by 2. And then the range is increased to 19.1 meters, and then damage decreased medium as well by 1. And then the range increased to 19.1 through 45.7 meters at medium range. And then the minimum range, it is greater than 45.7 meters now. The Model L, the damage went down by 2, as well as the range going up to 44.5 meters. No change to the medium range. The damage at minimum range was actually increased by 1, and then the range was now changed to greater than 44.5 meters. And then the Goblin MK2, damage went down by 2, and the range went up 39.4 meters for maximum. No change medium range, and then the minimum damage stayed the same, and no change to the minimum range as well. The AS Val, looking like its maximum damage went down by 1 at the maximum range, and then the range as well went up to 21.6 meters. The damage in medium range 1 went down to 17 damage, down by 3, and the range 1 changed to 21.7 through 43.2 meters, and no change to range 2. The minimum damage range actually had a change in the range for 43.2 meters, which actually went lower, which is kind of nice. Yeah, a lot of the ARs, I literally wrote this down when I was looking at it earlier, but yeah, the ARs, essentially the changes they did definitely felt like it made the ARs a lot worse, or maybe not a lot worse, but just worse up close in general. I mean, you saw the headshot multipliers kind of going down, but the thing that kind of, I guess, changes it a little bit is you are seeing the longer ranges are getting a bit better. I say a bit better, they're getting a lot better. So I really want to see how that's going to affect the multiplayer. I feel like this is just a change mainly due to that of Warzone coming out and that kind of scenario. I think that's just going to be better, of course, a little bit better tuning for that scenario. So we'll just kind of see as it rolls out and we get to testing it in game. Going down to the SMGs though, we have the C9. Only thing changed is the 13.3 meters at max range, the 13.3 meters to 16.5 meters. They had no damage changes at all, but the ranges are being changed. So like 16.6 to 30.5 meters, and then greater than 30.5 meters. So it is increasing it a little bit. KSV, no damage changes again. Everything looks exactly the same. The ranges though increased a little bit to 2.8 meters or 10.8 meters, as well as range 1 being 10.9 meters to 15.9 meters. Range 2 going to 16 through 29.2 meters. Minimum range going greater than 29.2 meters. Tonto, really, I don't think any changes here other than the medium range 1, 2, and minimum range. Medium range going from 6 to 6.4 through 16.5 meters, and then range 2, 16.6 meters to 27.9 meters. The minimum range being greater than 27.9 meters. We're also going to see the PP919 also having the ranges all changed, but no damage changes, as well as the PDW, the Jackal PDW, also the same thing, increasing the range, but no damage increase. And going all the way down to Compact 92, we're seeing the same iteration go down. So it's actually increasing the ranges, but if you look at the ranges and compare them to the previous ones, like it's not much different. So I don't know how much difference we're gonna really see. Like, don't get me wrong, I play a lot of hardcore and it's just because of camos right now, but once I go back to core, I know the SMGs are probably going to feel a little bit better, but again, they don't look like the best changes in terms of, like, it is a positive, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not like something that's going to drastically change it. So we'll probably see more of this going into season 1, just like the ARs when it comes to playing in game. The shotguns, this is where I get real sad because I was just starting my shotgun grind for gold, and oh man, I'm so sad. But last week we fixed an issue with shotgun slugs, but we are still working on an additional issue causing this attachment to perform better in hipfire than intended. Slugs are meant to offer an alternate playstyle for shotguns that trades close quarters effectiveness for improved range and precision. We are removing the ability for slugs to one-hit kill to the body for now, and will be revisiting the overall tuning of this attachment in an upcoming update. Marine SP slug attachment max damage reduced from 106 to 92. ASG 89 slug attachment max damage reduced from 106 to 92. That's the part that sucks. Like, you're gonna have to have two-shotting them unless we could somehow get the damage higher with other attachments, which I think you could probably do that. Maybe get 8 more damage. We'll just have to see. I'll see, because I gotta level up the shotguns regardless. Oh man, when I saw this, I was so disappointed. What are the chances that as soon as I start working on that, because I heard they were a little overpowered, I was going to try to knock them out as soon as I could, and immediately a patch comes out where it nerfs them. But speaking of nerfs, this is actually one that I spoke on my last video, and it is something that I'm really glad they're actually touching on. A lot of my friends don't care too much about the recon ability. They don't even use it all that much, but personally, I feel like it impacts the gameplay a lot, especially when it comes to playing something like Nuketown, where you can practically shoot through everything in that map. But the perks, essentially recon combat specialty, reduced duration that enemies are highlighted after respawning to 1.5 seconds from 2 seconds. An additional reduction will be coming before season 1. So it seems like they've already been working on this, because they're already going to have another reduction, like it says, but here before season 1. So that's kind of good to see. Glad to kind of see that, at least in my perspective. And then resolved an issue that allowed players to activate recon combat specialty by changing loadouts. I heard about this, but I literally didn't find out until I posted my video. So that is freaking crazy that bug was the case. I literally just started seeing posts on X about that, and I think that is wild. Increased dispatcher perk score cost for UAV from 500 to 550. Increased dispatcher perk score cost for counter UAV from 550 to 600. As we head into season 1, we are continuing to observe data and feedback for perks and combat specialties multiplayer. Currently, Enforcer is the most popular combat specialty, with recon in second place. It's not just about the data though, as your feedback is a critical part of how we approach tuning of the live game. With that said, we are making some spot adjustments today as we continue love that as we continue to take a holistic look at our perks and combat specialties moving forward. If you have any feedback and want them to fix any issues that you're not really particularly enjoying, voice your opinions, voice your concerns. As long as we do it in a way that's giving some like good criticism and like giving some good feedback on it, this should be fine. And hopefully, as long as it's, you know, a good change and won't mess up the balancing of everything, like they'll probably change it. As far as we've seen, because we've talked a lot about a lot of these things and they have been fixing them. I mean, a lot of these things that I've been complaining to my buddies about, they are fixing in this patch right now. Like the next one, flashbang, for instance. Reduced flashbang tactical screen effect duration by 20%. Holy moly. That is 1/5 of what it was, which is insane. I know, that is crazy, because the amount of times that I have been flashed and how long it lasts is just insane, especially in the smaller maps. It is just crazy, especially when they're just throwing them at your spawn. Despite that, the score streaks, increased health of UAV and counter UAV, rockets to destroy remain unchanged, which is nice. Increased initial explosion radius of napalm strike, reduced the initial entry delay of LDBR, increased the fly-in speed of the strategic bomber, reduced score cost for interceptors from 1250 to 1150. All right, not too crazy. And then the movement updates, adjusted stance change cooldowns to reduce effectiveness of repeated prone to stand movements. Enough snaking. I love that they're combating that. That's hilarious. I don't have anything against it, but I just think it's funny. XP earn rates, adjusted player XP and weapon XP earn rates for most modes to ensure that players are being rewarded for their match performance as expected wherever they play. These changes include increased weapon XP earn rates for most modes, increased player XP earn rates for the following modes: TDM, Control, S&D, Gunfight, slight increase to player XP and weapon XP earned in face-off modes. That's kind of nice. I haven't really seen much of an issue for myself, but I mean, I also don't pay attention too much about the exact XP and how I'm gaining it. So, but the challenges addressed an issue where players were able to complete the nuke challenge while dying. I did hear about this yesterday, and I thought this was kind of crazy. My buddies were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not going to try to go for that, just for the sake of the fact that I'd rather unlock that purposefully and the way it's supposed to be unlocked. I feel like it would be way more satisfying to get that. And then the UI, appropriate perks will now display when viewing the featured player during best play. Oh, that's nice. We can actually see their build. And then known issues. Gunsmith. We are investigating an issue where any equipped optic attachment is removed when entering the Gunsmith in main menus. Players will not notice this issue if entering Gunsmith during a match. Players can equip optic attachments, but will need to re-equip them anytime they enter Gunsmith. In a main menu to adjust attachments or customizations. In cases where an optic is locked and equipped via a blueprint, players will need to reapply the blueprint to obtain the optic. I have had some of these issues, and it is a little annoying, but it's all right. It's whatever. No issues. It's all right. I'm glad they're already investigating and trying to fix it. And then in Zombies UI, Gobblegum names will now properly update when switching between tier tabs. Well, that's good, because I haven't had an issue with that, but I mean, if there's an issue there, glad they're fixing it. But regardless, I do like a lot of the changes. The weapon tuning is a little odd in my opinion. I do like the AR changes more. I'm a little disappointed though with the fact that they do less damage up close. The bullets they shoot, like 7.62, 5.56. I think I'm just complaining about the headshots, especially when getting hit markers in hardcore about that. It just mind boggles me, but I think I'm just tired of playing hardcore. So definitely going to be probably playing core a little bit more, and maybe zombies, just to make sure I'm still enjoying the game and for the right reasons, and playing for stuff I'm enjoying, not forcing myself to play something that's not enjoyable. But regardless, I definitely want to see how this is going to play out as we play throughout this week and leading into season 1. So I am excited about this, very happy about it, and also stoked about the subscribers. Thanks for hopping on, everybody. I hope you guys have been enjoying all the fun and updates and all the content that I put out there. I do work very hard, and I still have a full-time job, so trying to get all these videos out in a timely manner and still spend time with my family is it's a lot, but I am doing what I can. And if you do appreciate what I'm doing here for you guys, please feel free to like this video. Let me know what you liked, what you disliked, and I'll make sure I check it out in the comments and do what I can to fix what I'm messing up on. Regardless, if you enjoyed and want to see more, click that subscribe button, be a part of the channel, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.